Hallo. What is up, fam? People coming in. Oh, this is cool. Oh, and I already got the request to go live with our interview partner today. But before we start, obviously, I need to introduce myself. I need to welcome you. So, what's up, fam? I'm so excited that you tuned in tonight for our next episode of 21 Minutes with. My name is Lisa Ramoschkat. I am going to be your host for tonight. And we have a very special guest tonight again. It's someone from Germany, so it's always, a little weird. I'm from Germany, he's from Germany. We're going to speak English so everyone can understand. That's, a little cringe. Anyways, we're going to make it happen, and I really hope you're going to shoot your questions, everything you want to know. We're open, he's open, and he's our world champion. So you better be ready, and I hope you're going to enjoy our 21 minutes with Luke Fit. Let's get him in here.
Hello.
Hello, Luke. What's up?
Everything is fine.
You're good?
Yes.
I'm gonna get our 21 minutes ready right now. So this is no joke.
Okay.
So the first question I ask all of my interview partners is, if you were to do a Hyrox double with any person in this world, you can get creative. It doesn't have to be an athlete. Who would you do the double with?
I think it will be a friend of mine called Andre Kreisel.
All right.
He's very fast, very strong, and a good workout bestia.
Ooh, all right. So did he do a Hyrox before?
He did it as a double with Marcus Adelt in Miami and win the double in Miami. And the last time he did it with his girlfriend, Karina Bunkert, and they were a very strong team. And he's always, as a single person, very, very good.
So can we expect a double with you and the homie at any point? Or will you keep going?
Yeah, we have to see next year which events we start in Germany, and maybe there's space for a team event.
Or a little double in between. We're dearly hoping for that. That would be really cool. But let's see. We jumped in right away. Let's introduce you a little. Most people, most Hyrox followers, hopefully, know you as our first world champion and the first person to finish the track, to finish the race under 60 minutes. So introduce yourself a little, give us a little bit, background of who Lukas Storath is.
Now I'm 14 years old. I did sport the last 25 years, a lot of sports. First I played soccer. Then I do a little bit weightlifting, I do a little bit fighting, swimming, biking, running, and then I was a very heavy athlete in case of endurance.
Really?
So I started 15 years ago to do a triathlon, a little bit professional. So I was a sprinter, 1 hour and 2 hour events. I went very fast, and I trained a lot of hours a week, from 10 to 20 hours a week. But I never neglected the strength training.
Interesting. I wasn't aware that you were, a football player and a triathlon athlete. How did you make the switch into, let's call it, obstacle racing then?
Football was, I get, the fight against the other people. I get, sometimes I get injured. And so I say no. 20 years ago, I have this is not the sport for a long time. So I went to triathlon because swimming, biking, running makes a lot of fun. But I always go to fitness, and after that I go to some obstacle course racing. We was with our team in Las Vegas, the 24-hour races in Germany, in Europe. We have a strong Getting Tough team. and we were, so I switched to OCR because you have to do some obstacles, you have to run, you have to carry some things, and that was interesting for me.
Was that the same time when you started to get into weightlifting and functional training too?
Yeah, that's similar. Also, that's parallel to both sides. I do everything. Also, not only OCR, but not only fitness. All together, I combined all workouts.
Interesting. And also, which I didn't know perfectly myself before, you are a founder of the biggest OCR event in Germany, and you also founded a little CrossFit series. Let's call it that. It's called the Beast Games.
It's called the Beast Games. We founded 4 years ago. It's a little bit a CrossFit event. You have to be the best in in sprint, in endurance, in strength, in lifting. You have to go some obstacles. It is a big event next year, the fourth event in Germany, and they're the best athletes all over Germany. Maybe in a few years all over the world will take part on the Beast Games here in Würzburg, in Germany.
In the south. That sounds
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
So you're an obstacle race pro. What is for you personally the biggest difference between a traditional OCR and Hyrox?
In Hyrox, you have some workouts that you need a lot of power, and you need a body weight that is over 70 kilos, because the sled push and pull is very hard, and if you are too small and your weight is not high enough, you have problems with the sled. So you have Hyrox. You need a lot of power in the upper body and in the legs. And OCR, you have the endurance is more important, and by Hyrox is endurance and the power important. So, but OCR athletes in Hyrox are definitely till now the best. Also, it's a good background. OCR is a good background to be a good Hyroxer.
A good Hyroxer, I like
Yeah.
that. So, what's your practice routine? You crashed the record. You crashed the 1 hour mark, which is like the magic mark. Maybe you can tell us a bit about how you approach a race. So how do you prepare? What's most importantly for you to start a race?
My first event was in Leipzig. I underestimate the event. I think, it's only 1 hour. I do it. It's an easy race. But in the days before, I don't eat a lot, and between the races, the race starts, I drink not too much, and I have no sugar. I had no sugar in me, so Josh crashed me in the first event because I was not 100% there, and my practice routine is a lot of endurance, but also a lot of power and strength training too. And very important is stretching, physio, recovery is very important. I use ice. I have a little pool with ice.
An ice bath?
So, yeah, ice bath. So do it 1, 2, or 3 times a week, and that's a perfect recover for the training week and for events too.
How many breaks or how important would you say is recovery in terms of getting stronger? Because I personally know from myself, like when I'm fully motivated and like trying to reach a certain goal, maybe I feel like recovery is actually holding me back, and it's so difficult for me to take breaks and be like, okay, today I'm not going to work out because I need the strength tomorrow.
I think you have to do an active break. So you have to go a little bit cycling, a little bit swimming, or 20 minutes of an easy run, and stretching. I don't make breaks in the week. I always are in training, but there's just a normal endurance stretching training, and the power sessions a week are maybe 2 or 3, and the rest of the days it's endurance, and it's in a basic endurance speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many days, sorry if I repeat my question, basically if you said it already, but how many days per week do you work out, and how many days are you doing your active recovery?
1 day active recovery a week,
Oh,
and six days of workout.
oh wow, I thought you said 2 or 3 times. Oh no, that was the
No, no.
ice bath, right?
Yeah, or it's an active recovery. Also, it's easy for me to say I do tomorrow, I do nothing, but nothing is for me. I go 2K swimming in a pool.
Yeah.
That's
Oh well.
nothing. That's recovery. Yeah.
Wouldn't be recovery for me to get in the swimming pool. But anyways,
Yeah.
it was so interesting as you just started talking about your first event ever in Leipzig. You said you underestimated that a little bit. You didn't drink enough. You didn't, fuel your body well enough. And that was the first event where Joshua Wichtrup, who went to the CrossFit Games later, and he won that event. And then you came back, and it was like a totally different person. And then also you went to the States, and you came back to to a whole bunch of events. How did you experience the development of the Hyrox events for yourself?
Yeah, for me it was just to feel a hard sled pull with a lot of lactate inside, and to go running. That was a big step, and I get a lot of sugar in the race. Every 10 minutes I drink sugar, like cola or a hydrogel. That's the biggest reason was to get sugar in the before the event, and in the event a lot of sugar and carbohydrates, and in the training before it was to go full out with to go all out with your legs, and to run. Also you have to destroy your legs.
Really?
And then you have to run, and that's the biggest parts are these two parts.
So that's the best preparation.
Yeah.
But also, I think I remember because we had the interview on stage right after you won, and you said, yeah, like I put on much more muscle weight.
Yeah.
I think you said that. How did you manage to change that in such a short period of time? I think it was only 2 weeks in between the 2 races.
Yeah, for me it's if I cancel a bit endurance and go to 1 or 2 endurance sessions per week, and change them into strength training, and eat a lot, 300 to 400 carbs a day more. So I need a very short time, maybe 2, 4 or 6 weeks to get stronger, because in the last years last 15 years I do a lot of endurance, and if I change it, if I delete some endurance sessions and change it with strength training, my muscles are getting a little bit, and you need it, yeah. But the biceps is not so important. It looks good, but the shoulders, the back, or the back muscles are more important than the biceps.
Well, obviously, but that was very interesting. You said you're switching your nutrition too, so you're eating 300 or 400 carbs per day as well. Someone's laughing at the biceps story. So how do you deal with your nutrition? What do you care about? Do you eat lots of vegetables, or do you put a lot of meat in there too, or do you not eat meat at all? What's the
Yeah.
secret to your nutrition?
A few years ago, I eat a lot of animal protein, um, but every month I go better with it. I talk to other athletes how they make it and what are the differences. And for me, the best way is to go into vegan, but not extreme vegan, sondern I eat animal protein maybe 1 or 2 times a week.
So, as in meat or eggs, or
A little bit of eggs and a little bit of beef,
yes.
but less. Also maybe 1 or 2 times a week, and I don't drink milk or anything like that. It's also my recovery gone bad if I eat too much animal food.
Interesting. So you replace it with plant-based
Yes,
protein. So
genau.
you probably eat a lot of chickpeas and
Yes.
what
Yeah,
else?
um, it's vegetables and chickpeas and yeah, it's I take first of all I take a lot of protein pulver,
Powders,
protein
supplements. Yeah.
supplements and 2 or 3 times a day. So I get I weigh about my weight is about 80 to 82 kilos. So I need about 120 to 140 grams a day, and so I have to take 1 to 3 veggie burger.
Or veggie
Yeah,
burgers.
yeah,
Yeah.
veggie, 1 to 3 shakes a day that I get good for my for my daily
Yeah.
training.
Protein. So
Yes.
Zimbo, I hope you're having a good veggie burger tonight. But Luke, we had a very interesting user question, and I actually wonder what your thought is on this. He wanted to know how you handle the transitions, especially inside the rock zone, because that's always transitions are key to every successful athlete in any obstacle race. So, do you have a special technique in the rock zone?
Yeah, you don't have to break in the rock zone, or you don't have to make a break in the rock zone. You have to go always running, no walking. I see a lot of athletes in the last months who walk in the zone, and that's not good. You have to run, and
Yeah.
it's no braking zone.
Working
It's a
zone.
working zone, and you have to run always. You have to
Okay,
run always. There's no stop.
I see. So no braking zone right there.
No
I like
braking
that.
zone. Yeah.
We have a couple of in-between questions too. Number one is, which other sports, apart from functional fitness, would you dominate?
Apart from, also not CrossFit or something like that, sondern
Yeah.
apart from it.
Hmm.
Phew, um, phew.
That was a tough one.
If I had maybe a more body weight, 20 or 30 kilos more, strongman would be very fine. I lift very. It makes me fun to
Well,
lift heavy things, but
cool.
there I have to eat a lot of more carbs that I get
Yeah.
more heavier.
More than 300 on top
Yeah,
of your daily dose. Okay.
much more.
And then, which person would you like to compete against sometimes? Like, if, let's say, in a Hyrox race.
Klar, some CrossFit athletes. I think the CrossFit are great athletes, CrossFitter, but they are very strong in weightlifting.
Yes.
And but in the combination of running or endurance and weightlifting, so I would Matt Fraser and the the top of the CrossFit heat,
Family, yeah.
the top mans in the world, I would compete in a Hyrox. But they are very strong athletes, vor allem also in weightlifting.
But not in running. In Hyrox would be a
No,
lot of running. And Matt
yeah,
Fraser is pretty short, so I
but
don't think.
he's named or called the fittest on earth.
I know. Yeah. Would you ever compete in a CrossFit competition? You know, Yoshi got through all the way, which was so impressive. I was cheering for him at the games.
Yeah. Yoshi is
What do
very.
you think?
My weightlifting is is in the middle class, not in the
Okay.
top class. So I started too late with the technique of weightlifting.
Okay.
So Matt Fraser, Josh, and they have a very good technique. Mine is
You think it's not good
it's
enough
not good
for
enough now,
for the
and
games?
I have to train a lot of technique the next 10 years, and then I'm 15 years old, and no, that's
Could be, well, you could start in the top 50
yeah,
age class then.
and maybe in the senior class.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, let's see. We have a little trivia quiz situation. 3 questions, and the winner, we're competing against each other. I don't know the answers. I don't know the questions either. And the winner gets to give away as a present a free starting seat at one of the next Hyrox events.
Okay.
So you better play well.
Okay.
Question number 1. At the height of his boxing career, Muhammad Ali famously fought whom in the Rumble in the Jungle? I have no idea. It's A, George Foreman, B, Sonny Liston, C, Joe Frazier, or D, Floyd Patterson. I have 0 idea. I don't know any boxing.
Who?
George Foreman, Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, or Floyd Patterson.
I think George Foreman is a little bit too young, I think. I would say D.
Sonny Liston. I was gonna go with Joe Frazier. So, and our 21 minutes are over.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay though. We can finish.
Okay, you finish.
So you're going with B. I'm going with C, and the answer is no. It's
George Foreman. Oh, I think he's too old, but George Foreman. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so that was a fail.
Okay.
Leaves us all the possibilities open though to make this race. Let's see. Number 2. Oh, we're going into basketball now.
Yeah.
Led by Michael Jordan, the Bulls. I just watched The Last Dance, by the way. The Netflix documentary is insane. It's just this.
Yeah.
So, led by Michael Jordan, the Bulls proved they were the most dominant NBA team in the 90s by winning how many championships? 3, 4, 5, or 6? Damn, I just watched it. Oh no, 6. Yeah, it's 6. And it has to be. Yeah, it's 6. But you're gonna get the point. I'm gonna give you the point.
Thank you.
Yours.
Thanks.
It was so good. Like in the end, he would be like, "Yeah, I would have come back for number 7 in 1998." But then they didn't, they didn't want to keep the team together. It was so good. I loved it. Best documentary ever. All right. So 1-0. I can either, equalize this one, or it's gonna be your free ticket. Dominated for most of the fight. How did Mike Tyson lose his second match against Evander Holyfield? A, technical knockout. B, disqualification. C, knockout. Or an anonymous decision. No idea.
He bite him in the ear, so I say B.
That was that match?
Yeah, I think so.
I have 0 boxing. It's 2 boxing questions. This is.
Yes, he need a bit protein, so he bite him in the ear, and so I think it's B.
All right, and then I'm gonna go with You're gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with unanonymous decision. You're right, Luke. You're right. Okay, so you win one free starting seat for one of your homies or someone in your community, whoever you want to give it to. He or she can start anywhere.
Yeah,
Really
well,
cool.
thanks.
All right, and then before we close this down, I'm almost done with all of my questions. But the most important question is, what was, as an athlete, your most awkward moment in your entire career? We had good ones. We had really good ones. Hunter McIntyre, for example, said that he was doing a triathlon with a friend, and his friend like had to go to the bathroom but couldn't, and then he was like covered in, you know, poop basically, and he was like carrying him, and it was, well, I don't want to go into detail.
Yeah, I do a lot of events in the last 20 years, but they were always great races. I have 2 times I have a flat tire in the triathlon.
Oh no.
That was very bad. And one time I get disqualified. I was in the first place on the bike, and I am going to win the race in the triathlon event, and my helmet wasn't closed, and so the judge say you out of a race.
No way.
And that's on the biggest fail was I was a big TV show called Mega Man. You can win a lot of money. I was on the first place too, but
your helmet again wasn't closed.
No. A judge said to me, you have to go that way, but I had to go this way. And so
I followed the judge?
I followed the judge, was on first place, and lost a lot of money, and was out of the race.
Oh, damn.
Was
okay. How did you react?
Yeah, it was no, it was really a bad moment, and we have a few weeks. There was a big trouble because it was a lot of money, and it was a big race. Pro Sieben in Germany. It was sent. It was in the I think it's 16 years ago.
Oh wow! That's long time.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest fails. Yeah.
All right. So you better learn the track by yourself before, and always close your helmet so nothing happens.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. Thank you so much for your time. It was nice chatting with you. I really hope you're giving away the free seat to someone who's really happy about it.
I will make it in the next Instagram story.
Cool.
I get it out.
Oh, really nice. That's perfect. All right then. Take care of yourself. Really hoping to see you soon at one of the next events.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, Luke. Bye-bye.
Have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right. So, guys, everyone's like sending me signs. Thank you so much for listening, for your questions, for the veggie burger comments. It was really fun with you. We are going to be live again. I am going to be live. There's no one else here. My imaginary friend, maybe. I'm going to go live for you again next week when it's time for another episode of 21 Minutes with one of our amazing homies out of the even more amazing Hyrox community. My name is Lisa Ramushkat. I really hope to see you next week, and I hope you're having a great night now. Bye-bye.